Hello and welcome to WOW's Operation Replays. This is your host, Lord Holland, and this is a match against bots. Now, this is, as you can look at it right now, what kind of strat is this? Well, this is what they call the Iron Curtain strat. Or Iron Wall, Iron Curtain. It's basically, you shove as many Soviet cruisers, you shove as many Soviet cruisers together and you basically steamroll aside. And this is textbook battle cruiser wall. It's not like it used to be. Like there used to be like 4 Stalingrads. Yes, there was a thing, 4 Stalingrads. So it's not as bad as it used to be, but these are all textbook Iron Curtain ships. And you're going to see how to counter it. Now, how would you run this strat? Well, the obvious thing would be to do a BC push. Or a CB push, for them anyway. If it was us, it would be a BC push. But you're going to see exactly how to counter this kind of strat. I assume most clans know how to counter the Iron Curtain strat, but in case you don't, I'm going to show you. The main weakness for the Iron Wall strat is that that you can't be showing broadside. And I'm also pleased to announce that on the very last day of clan battles, Bonky was able to push into the Typhoon League. So we made Typhoon on the very last day, which was a pretty impressive achievement for us. So we were all really happy to make Typhoon.
Enemy force detected.
And we see that the Colombo spotted, the Yu Yang spotted. And they're only running 1 DD Yu Yang. So once the Yu Yang goes out, their whole strategy is kind of kaput. But you kind of see how we're moving our ships around. Now the Yu Yang's basically there, and that was a smoke Yu Yang, apparently, from what I was hearing in chat. So not too good on him. So let's look at his health. Yeah, he's already about half health down, so that Yu Yang is not doing too well. Yeah, probably like under 30 seconds, he's lost 2/3 of his health. And I don't know if that's really, kind of like, Now, it's at this moment that I saw the 2 cruisers, I saw there's a Petro. And it's like, okay, not too worried. But you can kind of tell where their main... Because if they put 2 cruisers like a Moskva and their other ship there, that kind of gives away their Iron Wall strat. And our good friend Warden is detecting the Kléber. Now, you can really clearly see where they're making the Iron Wall push at, which is at the CB push. They have the Moskva, and they're stalling there. That means their second Stalin's there, too. Now, obviously, when you do an Iron Wall strat, you usually want to put the BB with them. That's the only thing that bots really kind of, I think, messed up on. I get them putting the Battleship in the middle for support and to keep the Battleship and our team from getting pure crossfires, which is understandable. But on most maps, you usually want to stick the Battleship with the cruisers and push. Because it's very hard to kill a Battleship and that kind of Iron Wall strat. But the whole point of that strategy is to basically, overwhelm them with sheer power and basically have the health just so they can't focus the all down at once. I was trying to do a drive-by and kill this Petro, but he's in a really tight spot now because he's got the Moskva, he's got a DM that's got his broadside now, he's got a Kléber that can shoot AP into him. He's basically he's having to choose to angle, so therefore you're getting the cross shots that I always stress. He's basically gone. He can't do anything against us. And the Morning picks up their Petro. So their Petro's gone. And their Columbo's using his exhaust smoke and is turning. I have AP loaded for this guy.
Engine boost activated.
And popping my speed boost. Now, they really took a long time to really push that CB. Now, because it's only, you know, the Burgone and the Napoli there. I get them pushing a Stalin out, not far. I personally would have stuck the Moskva on the 10 line. And put the Stalins. The only downside with this map, Islands of Ice, is that there's so much openness that they really can't make that push. But it's, I mean, I don't know what they bots could have done, honestly, because if they did the Iron Wall strat at C, we could have countered it. So it's, the Iron Wall strat just really isn't a good strat anymore, in my opinion. It works in the lower clans like Squall, but at this league, because we're in Storm right now, it doesn't work in Storm. It really just doesn't. It doesn't have the flexibility. Oh, and they did also shove their Marseille over there too. And you do see they have pushed and taken and are capping B, and they have killed Upper Go. So they do have, you know, a health advantage slightly now, but they're Yu Yang's basically Kléber food, and even if they take that cap, we're gonna back cap C. So the Iron Wall strat really only works if you can defend your first cap and then push the second cap. That's the only way it works. And they lost their second cap, so there's not much. And they're kind of, well, screwed because we're getting the cross shots on him. Our Napoli is going to go down, but he's literally, you know, buying his time. He's basically taking a Marseille and a Stalingrad all the way to the 10 line. I mean, there's not much. It's like, well, you're kind of taking yourself out of action. You might kill this Napoli, but is it really worth it? I do try to get the Stalingrad, but I just couldn't make my shots count. Now, we do lose the Napoli, but it's not like it's the end of the world. Now, our Kléber's going to cap C. There's still a Yu Yang there somewhere.
Engine boost deactivated.
But, you see, as long as our daring keeps him spotted, they can't really do much. They can't go dark. They can't really reposition their ships. And they've already turned their Moskva back around to send them back to try to get C. But, I mean, a Moskva versus basically a full health Marseille, not much of a challenge. Now, they do lose their Stalingrad right there, so now it's basically 4-5. Well, technically 3-5 because they're Yu Yang so low health and he can't do much anymore. So basically, at this point, there's not much they really can do. Sending the two ships, their Marseille and their Stalingrad, all the way north, really took them out of the fight. And that's just a textbook, you know, don't do move. That's like a randoms move almost. You never want to chase that ship to the edge of the map. I mean, It makes sense, but you usually, if you're going to do that, you want one ship to chase them, not two ships. You want the rest of your ships to kind of reposition. I'm not really worried about this Moscow. It's the Stalin and the Marseille that are shooting me. They do get a good little chunk on me, but I'm not like, oh my god, worried. Now Stalin is angling in because he knows I shot him. I bounce his shells. They don't do anything. Now he's kind of in a rough spot. Our Kléber picks up the Moskva, so they just lost the only cruiser they sent back north. So I don't know what they're gonna do.
Engine boost
I
activated.
do take a pretty good hit there from Mr. Marseille. And you see the Stalingrad's done looking at me. And I do get a pretty good hit right there. 16,000. Kléber's going down. And their Stalingrad, well, that 16,000 really cost him most of his health. Now the Marseille and everything are just pushing into a Des Moines and a Moskva. Doesn't take a genius to know how that's going to end. But at this point, you know, they've lost the match. And Marseille's going to be the one to go down because he's at the lowest health. Yep, there goes the Marseille. And that was GG.